Good morning, Nisambula. I greet all citizens of Fiji here and abroad. Nisambula, especially to our listeners and viewers in Australia, in New Zealand, in America, with the British Army in the United Kingdom, and everywhere else around the globe. Nisambula. Today we celebrate Fiji Day, 177 years after Fiji became a colony of the British Empire in 1874. It is also 51 years since our independence in 1970, and 34 years after we became a republic. Today is the right moment for all of us to pay tribute to the leaders of the past. I begin with the chiefs, who in their collective wisdom and their love for their subjects and their commitment to ensuring a secure and better and united future for the Vanua, ceded their authority and sovereignty over these islands to Queen Victoria of Great Britain on the 10th of October, 1874. They did that trusting that Her Majesty, her heirs and successors would protect the interests of Fiji and promote civilization, Christianity, industry and trade in the new colony. We remember with gratitude the ensuing role of Her Majesty Queen Victoria, her heirs and successors, and we give thanks also for our local leaders who built systems of governance for independent Fiji. As we became a part of the community of nations, we took on responsibilities as best we could to maintain peace elsewhere in the world. There was and still is a cost to this in monetary terms, as well as lives lost. I suggest that we look at that more closely in the future as we set our priorities from here on. We are consoled by the knowledge that, small as we are, we have done our part as world peacekeepers. We have seen Fiji's economy expand based on the growing and processing of sugar and sugarcane, development of tourism, timber and mineral resources, and some manufacturing and service industries. We have also witnessed the emergence of a local system of commerce built on the skills and vision of our Fiji entrepreneurs. All this has given Fiji the most complex and diversified economy in the island nations of the region. We are now taking part in international efforts to halt the damaging effects of climate change. With that comes environmental degradation and pollution, massive cyclones, and rising sea levels. We have witnessed coastal erosion. Villages are threatened, and so are riverbanks and our very own Pacific Ocean. It is very clear that we must invest more effort and capital into our campaign to protect all parts and all elements of our environment. It is not enough to make expensive trips for overseas conferences. We need to see more immediate results at home, starting with a cleaner Fiji. Despite the continuing development of the skills and qualifications of our local people, we are witnessing a trend for some senior posts in the civil service and the private sector to be occupied by expatriates. What has happened to our program of localization? It has become a casualty of emotionally and temperamentally unstable leadership in the current government. Nepotism, cronyism, corruption seems to be its hallmark. The normal separation of powers, which should be a pillar of stable democratic leadership, is virtually non-existent. On this day of reflection about Fiji, I make an appeal for us all to objectively look at ourselves and ask whether we are maintaining the vision of the great chiefs who took us out of something divisive and sometimes cruel and deadly tribalism into a new form of civilization. Is it not ironic that while we still contribute to maintaining world peace and stability, we find our own country beset by a rising tide of social and economic problems and insecurity? I say that democracy is under threat. I say we have within us the capability to rebuild our nation. We can do it. We can defeat despair and poverty, unemployment, and a host of other social problems. We can bring an end to fear and the curtailment of fundamental human rights and group rights. And then we can all rise to become all that we can be: unified, happy, and free. Have a happy Fiji Day. God bless you all. Praise God. Vinaka.